Let's go ahead and kick off the preseason for Season 4 of the Oklahoma City Bisons franchise with a trade. At the end of the offseason, I was a little concerned of how the receivers look, so I've made a trade with the Los Angeles Chargers, and we're going to send running back Brandon Creighton, who I drafted in the 5th round last year. Never really saw the field much. Hopefully in LA he can see the field a bit more. We've also added a 2nd round pick and a 4th round pick. The 4th round pick is ours, but the 2nd round pick we actually acquired from Tennessee, so we are sending that to the Chargers, and in exchange, we get wide receiver Quentin Johnston and a 6th round pick in the 2028 draft. Now, I know in real life his rookie season right now has been pretty rough for Quentin Johnston, but we're not really concerned about real life stats here. In his rookie year in LA, he only caught 5 passes for 57 yards and 2 touchdowns, but he's been a bit more involved in the offense the last couple years. As you can see though, he is still a star depth trade at 6'4", 215 pounds, only 24 years old, and he's got some pretty solid ratings with 90 speed, 90 acceleration, 86 catching, 87 catching traffic, short routes at 83, mediums at 84. His deep route isn't great at a 77, and his release is not phenomenal at a 71, but I think he can be a really good wide receiver too this season. But now that is out of the way, and I can go through all of the free agents I ended up signing following the draft. The first guy we're going to go over is undrafted free agent quarterback Mitch McLaughlin, a 64 overall. You can see his ratings here. I brought him in to compete for the quarterback 3 job. And he will be competing against a 3rd-year quarterback in Dalton Sawicki out of Michigan State, a 62 overall with 89 throw power, 74 deep accuracy, 82 medium, and 74 short. Obviously, our starting quarterback is going to stay as Nick Samuel. The backup will most likely be Geno Smith, unless both of these guys just play absolutely phenomenal, and I'm fine with one of them being my 2nd string, but most likely it's going to stay Geno Smith. I actually ended up signing 0 running backs, which is a little bit surprising for me. We still have Kendre Miller, we drafted Adonis Pleasance, we still have Puka Williams, and we have Samaje Perine, but I also added a fullback in free agency, and that is undrafted rookie Alexander Spurlock. Now I may, and I've said this before, I'm going to try to keep this guy on the roster. He's 21 years old, a 72 overall, with a star depth trade, a blocking tight end, and I may be able to use him as a power back, or hell, it may be nice to actually have a fullback on the roster for those goal line sets. Now, I did add a few wide receivers to this team. The first one's undrafted rookie Leo Chamberlain, a 68 overall, 91 speed, 89 acceleration. You can see all of his stats there. 82 catching I felt like was really good for an undrafted free agent, especially with his 77 release, and he is 6'3". Then a veteran I brought in is wide receiver DJ Chark at a 77 overall in his 9th year in the league. I cannot guarantee he's going to make the team, but he does have 94 speed, 94 acceleration, decent catching, and solid route running. And the final rookie I brought in was wide receiver Luke Bush. He does have a star depth trade as an undrafted free agent, which is pretty cool to see. He's only 5'9" though, a 66 overall, 93 speed, 91 acceleration, solid short route and medium route. He cannot run a deep route to save his life though. The receiver position to me looks a little bit weird this season because we have a lot of questions here. We lost Curtis Samuel, we lost Tyler Lockett. I let them both walk in free agency. Jared Bartow is going to be our number 1 receiver. Quentin Johnston will most likely be the number 2. And then I have a plan for Adonis Pleasance, the running back that we drafted. I really want to play him at both running back and receiver, so we're going to try to figure that out as the preseason goes. This is the 2nd time in this franchise I have found a superstar undrafted tight end. He's only a 57 overall, but George Clark is 6'5", 260 pounds. He does not have great ratings right now, as you can tell. But if you remember, Jerry Brooks was also an undrafted free agent. He is now up to a 77 overall and still a superstar depth trade. And we will get to see a little bit more of Jerry Brooks than I would really like to here in the preseason because Braden Willis is currently injured. I think he's only going to miss 1 week. I believe it came from weekly training, but the tight end position does not look to have a lot of depth, so hopefully we don't get injuries throughout the season. I believe Isaac Seumalo, I think I said your name right. I probably didn't. It's whatever. He should be the only guy actually signed from the free agents list along the offensive line. We signed Ronnie Stanley in free agency to play left tackle at a 90 overall. Brad Nelson will back him up at left guard. Damian Lewis at an 82. Then we have Isaac Seumalo and then a 69 overall in Jared Hoover. At center, I made a couple draft picks. We have Aaron St. Louis, who was actually the higher rated player, but Luke Fleck has the hidden depth trait, so he should be the starter. And then Ben Roberts, another rookie center that I drafted. And I really thought I would move him over to guard or something, but really just didn't work out yet. He may still play guard at some point this year. Robert Hunt's our right guard at 83. Phil Haynes is his backup at 72. And then at right tackle, we have Jack Bryan, one of our draft picks from this last year. He was picked at pick 31 at the end of the first round, and then Taylor Everett will back him up. Now that I'm looking over my list again, I do see that Phil Haynes is another guy that I signed after the draft, so that's another veteran I added to the offensive line. I ended up signing 3 players of the defensive line. The first one is defensive end Jamie McCullough. You can see as a star depth trait, a 56 overall. So he may not make the team, and if he does, I really hope he doesn't have to see the field anytime soon. And then our depth at defensive tackle was not very good, so I signed 2 guys here. The first one is defensive tackle Kevin Givens, a 29-year-old that's 72 overall. And then I also brought in defensive tackle Javon Hargrave at a 76 overall at 33 years old. Obviously, these guys are not going to be on the team, probably past this season, but we definitely needed some depth past Perion Winfrey and Dimitri Thomas. Now at left end, we did bring in a 34-year-old DeMarcus Lawrence in free agency. Hopefully that does not come back to bite me. Khalil Mack retired after the last season. But at right end, we still have Hassan Reddick at an 86 overall, backed up by Morgan Elliott and Jamie McCullough. The only veteran linebacker I ended up signing is Shaq Barrett at 33 years old, a 74 overall. Really, he's just here just in case we get some injuries along the linebacking unit. Aside from that, we do have Ronnie Perkins here, Malachi Bullocks, and then Danny Knox, who was one of our draft picks this last year. We ended up taking him, I believe, in the 4th round. At middle linebacker, we have Darnell Waters, we have Devondre Campbell, who we signed in free agency, Bumper Pool, and then Nick Williams. Then finally, at right outside linebacker, we have John Marion, who was a fantastic player last year when he actually saw the field, Colt Clinton, who came up big a few times, and then Barry McMahon. Generally at corner, I end up signing a lot of undrafted free agents. I actually did not do that this year. We have no rookies except for the guy that we drafted in the 1st round, Reggie Bowe, at a 77 overall. And then our number 1 corner is now Jalen Ramsey, who we signed in free agency, a 97 overall. Hopefully he can really help out our pass defense. Another undrafted guy that I signed is free safety Evan Coleman, and it shows he has a hidden depth trait. I'm not real sure why, because I have written down that he is a superstar depth trait. I'm assuming it's because he was a strong safety. I moved him over to free safety, so I guess it reset the counter or whatever. But either way, he is a superstar depth trait. The rest of the guys at free safety are going to be our starter and Eddie Jackson. Then we have Robbie Jackson, our backup safety, and then Evan Coleman, who will fight for a roster spot. And then at strong safety, we still have Will Thomas and Andrew Jordan. Then we have our kicker, who was fantastic last season, in Harrison Butker. I did change him from number 11 to number 40, just because kickers can kind of now wear like any number in the league, and I really don't want to use the numbers 1 through 19 on a player we are hardly ever going to see. So Harrison Butker is going to be number 40 now at an 81 overall. And then we actually drafted a punter this year, and that is Barry Pugh at a 79 overall. He will be wearing number 43, and we have officially cut punter Michael Turk. I have completed all of the training camp drills here. As you can see, the only one I did not get a gold badge in was the coffin corner punting. I tried that one for a while, could not get a gold badge. I eventually just settled on a silver and moved on, but I did end up getting like my record high in target passing with Nick Samuel, which was pretty cool to see. I promise we will eventually get into the games in this preseason video, but for now we have some players to upgrade. The first player up is running back Kendre Miller, and I did upgrade his receiving back trait just because it's easily his weakest one. He dropped a few passes last season, but now he gets +2 to catching traffic, 1 to catching, and 1 to short route running. Next up is second-year defensive back Jawan Hurts, who gets +2 to awareness, 1 to jumping, 1 to man coverage, 2 to press, and 1 to speed. What is his speed rating up to now? It is now a 95. The next player up is going to be our second-year middle linebacker in Darnell Waters. He gets +1 to awareness, 2 to block shed, 1 to man coverage, 1 to play rec, and 2 to zone coverage. Then we have the guy who's been our main tight end this entire series so far in Braden Willis. He's up to a superstar depth trait now. He gets +1 to awareness, catching, deep route running, 2 to medium route, 1 to run block power, and 1 to short route running. Next up is going to be our kicker in Harrison Butker, who has 97 kick power and 92 accuracy. So let's go ahead and upgrade that accuracy trait. See if he actually gets that here. He gets 1 point boosted, and it's +2 to his awareness, so that really doesn't help him. Then we have our first round pick in Reggie Bowe. We took him with the number 11 pick in the draft, and he goes up to a 78 overall right now by getting +1 to awareness, man coverage, press, 1 to speed, 1 to tackle, and 1 to zone coverage. What is his speed up to now? He is also at a 95 speed. He will most likely be our slot corner this year. All of the remaining players here now have 2 upgrade points to use. So the first one's going to be outside linebacker John Marion. He gets +2 to block shedding, 1 to man coverage, 1 to tackle, and 1 to zone coverage. And then we'll go and upgrade run stopper again. Let's see what he gets on this one. He gets 4 boosts, 1 to awareness, 2 to block shed, 2 to play rec, and 1 to zone coverage. Next up is going to be our number 1 receiver for this season. That is Jared Bartow. He gets +2 to awareness, 1 to catching, 1 to deep route, 1 to release, 1 to spectacular catching. And then we're going to go ahead and upgrade his deep threat again. And let's see what he gets this time. Can we get 1 to speed, 1 to awareness, 2 to catching, 1 to deep route, 1 to medium route? I guess I will take that. Then finally is our franchise quarterback in Nick Samuel. He gets +1 to break sack, play action, throw accuracy deep, throw accuracy mid, throw under pressure. And then with 1 more upgrade point, we'll upgrade that strong arm 1 more time. With his current boost, he's up to a 98 overall. But now we'll get 2 more to awareness, 1 to break sack, 1 to play action, 1 to throw accuracy deep, and 2 more to throw under pressure. We will see how much of the preseason we actually end up watching this season. I know I want to watch at least 1 full offensive drive with all of the starters here in the first week. Past that, I don't really know how much guys like Nick Samuel and Jared Bartow are going to be playing. And we will get to see the offense first, led by quarterback Nick Samuel. We're also going to be watching to see how good our rookies play here, because we have a rookie right tackle, a rookie running back, who is also going to be playing in the slot receiver position. Nick Samuel will come out in shotgun to start the drive from his own 22-yard line. He's going to look for a pass here on the first play. He steps up, hit as he's throwing this one out of bounds. Now Samuel lines up under center. Still at the 22-yard line, Kendre Miller is lined up at running back, and they give it to Miller to go up the middle. He'll break that tackle, have the first down, and get brought down to the 33 for a gain of 11. Now Samuel back in shotgun again, and I believe that is going to be Adonis Pleasance in at running back. He'll take the snap, and it's a dump off to Pleasance, who makes the catch and gets a 7-yard gain to start his career. Nick Samuel back in shotgun on the next play. Kendre Miller has checked back into the game, and they give it to Miller, who tries to bounce up the middle and will get brought down to bring up a 3rd and inches for the Bison. Now Samuel lines up under center. I believe that's Puka Williams now in the backfield here on 3rd down. It will be a toss out to Puka, who gets to the edge and has the first down, getting brought down to the 47-yard line, a 4-yard run. Now Samuel back in shotgun with a brand new set of downs. We have really yet to see him hit any of those new receivers. Hand off to Kendre Miller, and Miller has good blocking and another first down run for the Bison. Now at the Broncos' 42-yard line, Samuel back in shotgun, will drop back to pass. He's going over the middle, and that one's going to get intercepted. He threw it behind Quentin Johnston, and Patrick Surtain will take it away. And in the Broncos' drive on 3rd and 11, Jordan Love finds Jerry Jeudy for a 45-yard touchdown. We're going to give the starters 1 more drive to show what they can do before we probably bench most of them for the rest of the preseason. From the 25-yard line, handoff to Kendre Miller, and that is going to go for a gain of 1. Now a 2nd and 9 for the Bison. Samuel's back in shotgun. Pleasance has checked in at running back. They hand it to Adonis Pleasance. He gets to the outside and will set up a 3rd and 4, a solid 5-yard run. Looking to avoid a 3 and out here. Samuel back in shotgun. Kendre Miller is the running back. He'll take the snap and look to pass. He's throwing this one deep downfield. He's got a man, and that is going to be Pleasance all the way down to the 37-yard line. Well, if he can do more of that throughout the season, that's going to look like a terrific draft pick. 1st and 10 now at the Broncos' 37. He lines up in pistol. Kendre Miller is the running back. He will take the snap. A quick throw will be caught by Bartow, and he's got the first down to the Broncos' 27. Nick Samuel back in shotgun 1 more time. Kendre Miller is the running back. He will take the snap and look to pass. He throws this one to the outside. That one will be incomplete, in and out of the hands of Quentin Johnston, but he was getting hit. Now a 2nd and 10. He lines up in shotgun. Miller is still the running back. He'll take the snap, and a quick fire downfield will be caught by Bartow all the way down to the 11-yard line. Now Nick Samuel lines up under center. Kendre Miller is the running back. From the 11 here, he will drop back to pass. A quick throw to the outside, and that time he overthrows Quentin Johnston. 2nd down. He has yet to hook up with his brand new receiver that we just got him in a trade. Now 2nd and 10. And it looks like Pleasance is lined up at running back. Out of a pistol set, Samuel will look to pass. He throws this one downfield, caught by Bartow, who is brought down at the 6-yard line to set up a 3rd and 5. Now they come out with no one else in the backfield, looking for a quick pass to the outside, will be caught by Pleasance and sets up a 4th and inches. And apparently we're just going to settle for a field goal. Well, we got to see a lot of Adonis Pleasance on that drive. I will probably be super simming a lot more of this game, and we'll see how much the offense actually does. But Geno Smith is going to be coming in at quarterback. We're going to jump all the way ahead to the start of the 4th quarter, where we are tied at 13. Mitch McLaughlin is in at quarterback and faces a 3rd and 6 from the Broncos' 30. He'll take the snap and look to pass, and he's going to get sacked on the play. But now Harrison Butker will have a chance to give us the lead. The kick is away, and it is good. The defense would force a punt, and now Drew Sawiski faces a 3rd and 13 at quarterback. From the Broncos 40 with a 5-wide set. We'll see if he actually throws this ball. He'll step up in the pocket now, so Whiskey's going to take off, and he will get brought down and bring up a 4th and 2, most likely sending Harrison Butker back out. Or not. We're going to line up and go for this one. I believe Puka Williams is lined up at running back. From the Broncos 28-yard line, he'll take the snap. He fakes it to Puka. Now so Whiskey looking to go downfield. He'll take off. Juke out one man. He has the first down and will dive down to the 22-yard line. I don't know if I've been saying his name right. It's Sawicki. I think I've been saying Sawicki, but whatever. 1st and 10 from the 22. Hand off to Puka Williams, who jukes to the outside, and Puka Williams is gone. Touchdown, Oklahoma City. And your final score of this one would be 26-13. We would get one more field goal there before the end of the game, but we got here with a win. And from what I saw of Sawicki, he looked really good. Able to stand back in the pocket, know when to run, make people miss, and led obviously a drive that ended up winning the game. Here you can see all of the player stats. Jordan Love went 5 of 5 for 80 yards and a touchdown. That's about what you want to see out of your starting quarterback in the preseason. Geno Smith went 5 of 9 for 80 and a touchdown. Nick Samuel went 6 of 10 and a pick, not great for him. McLaughlin didn't play bad either. Most of his stuff was in simulation. The only play I actually watched was the one you guys saw where he got sacked. He went 7 of 8. So Wiki went 2 of 3 for 17 yards, but he also ran the ball really well from what we saw. Puka Williams got 63 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Culliver ended up with 46 yards, and receiving, Spencer Mayo 4 for 71. He was one of those guys that played really well in the last preseason. Devin Duvernay 4 for 46 and a touchdown. Tylan Wallace 3 for 31. And those are the only ones to catch touchdowns besides Jerry Jeudy on his 1 catch. Before we jump into the next game, we do have a few upgrade points here. The first one to defensive back Juwan Hurts. He gets +1 to man coverage and 3 to tackle. Then we also have one for middle linebacker Darnell Waters. He gets +1 to awareness, 1 to block shed, and 2 to tackle. Then finally is tight end Jerry Brooks, who gets +1 to ball carrier vision, 3 to catching traffic, 1 to catching, pass block, run block finesse, and 1 to run block power. We do have a scenario before going into this game of improved rookie. A veteran wants to talk about mentoring a first-round pick. I was honestly expecting it to be the defensive back Reggie Bowe, but it's apparently going to be Jack Bryan, the right tackle. We're going to say go ahead and improve his pass blocking, and we're going to say, I guess, pass block power here. Apparently, Ronnie Stanley really wants to help him out, so that's exactly what he's going to do, and right tackle Jack Bryan has received +3 to pass block power. The next 2 games are probably going to be a lot of simulation, and I think I'm just going to let the quarterbacks Mitch McLaughlin and Dalton Sawicki go ahead and battle it out. I'm not going to play Geno Smith or Nick Samuel in these games. Well, this first half has not gone well for really anyone in Oklahoma City. We're down 21-3 with 1:45 to play in the half. Let's see what McLaughlin can do. He goes downfield and overthrows a wide open Quentin Johnston. That brings up a 2nd and 10 from the 29. He'll drop back to pass. A quick throw downfield that will be caught by Johnson. The first catch we have actually seen him making it to the 45-yard line. Now running a no-huddle offense. McLaughlin is all alone in the backfield. Will take the snap. A quick throw downfield is going to get intercepted for the 2nd time this half. Well, the defense actually managed to get us the ball back before halftime, so we'll see what he can do on this drive, and he's going to overthrow Quentin Johnston yet again. He now has 54 seconds and all 3 timeouts at his disposal. He comes out with a 5-wide set this time. McLaughlin will take the snap. A quick throw will be caught and immediately brought down. That's a 4-yard gain. That sets up a 3rd and 6 now from our own 24-yard line. McLaughlin will drop back to the pass again. He throws this one towards the sideline and misses. Quentin Johnston will punt it away. Now in the second half, down 24-3, Dalton Sawicki is in at quarterback and has gotten the Bisons down to the 14. He'll run the play fake, now throw downfield, and that hit his man in the hands, but he could not come down with it. 2nd down. That was apparently intended for Devin Duvernay. Now on 2nd and 10. Back in pistol, he'll take the snap, another quick throw, this one to the end zone, and he will find Jerry Brooks, but Brooks could not bring it in. That was actually a really good pass, though. 3rd and 10 from the 14. Sawicki's back in shotgun. Puka Williams is the running back. We'll take the snap, and Sawicki will look to run here. He takes off up the middle and will get leveled, fumble the ball, and the Chargers have recovered. Well, that's all we are getting out of those quarterbacks today. We got 1 drive inside the 20-yard line, and Dalton Sawicki ended up fumbling the ball. Not exactly a great day for these 2 quarterbacks. Final score is 24-3. I ended up not changing out anyone on our defense, so the entire time Herbert was in, it was our starting defense, and he goes 12 of 18 for 153 and 3 touchdowns. That is not a good sign. Dalton Sawicki 7 for 16 and 75 yards. Mitch McLaughlin 6 for 14, 60 yards and 2 interceptions. Did we at least run the ball well? No, not really. What about receiving? Darius Slayton 6 for 81 and a touchdown. Jerry Brooks 4 for 31 and a drop in the end zone. Before we get into the final preseason game this year, we have another upgrade for defensive back Reggie Bowe. He gets +3 to awareness, 2 to man coverage, and 1 to press. It looks like Ronnie Stanley is still trying to mentor Jack Bryan, and Jack Bryan just received 10,000 experience for it. With that 10,000 experience, he's earned a couple upgrade points. So first, we're going to upgrade his power trait. He's going to get 3 points here, 1 to awareness, 1 to pass block power, and 2 to run block power. We're going to go back for power one more time. He's up to a 76 overall. He's going to get 4 points here, 1 to awareness, pass block power, run block, and 1 to run block power. This will be the final game for Mitch McLaughlin or Dalton Sawicki to show me they can be the third string quarterback. The other one will probably go down to the practice squad. We are jumping all the way to the fourth quarter of this game. Dalton Sawicki was the quarterback in the first half and managed to get 3 field goal drives, and now it's going to be a 2nd and goal from the 1 for our other quarterback, Mitch McLaughlin. However, McLaughlin was not the quarterback that let us down here. I realized that Geno Smith accidentally snuck back into the game, but I made the change, and now Samaje Perine won't get in the end zone, and Brad Nelson is injured. That sets up a 3rd and goal. Samaje in the backfield, but we go to the fullback, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown for our rookie fullback, Alexander Spurlock. The defense would get the ball back to the Bisons offense with 6 minutes to go. McLaughlin has a chance to lead a game-winning drive. Out of a 5-wide set on 2nd down, he'll find Jerry Brooks for the first down to the 18-yard line. A couple plays later, it is a 3rd and 7 for the Bison with about 4.5 minutes to play. McLaughlin out of shotgun, will drop back to pass, rolling to the outside, throws on the run deep downfield, and that'll be deflected away. That was actually an accurate ball, though. He was trying to get it to Tylan Wallace, who looks to have a step on his guy, but obviously the ball could not get there, and now we will punt it away. And I think for the first time in this preseason episode, we are going to watch the defense. The Jaguars quarterback right now is 2nd-year quarterback Robert Bell, now on 1st and 10 from their own 32. He'll take the step, handoff up the middle, and he's going to bounce around and ultimately get brought down for no gain. Now on 2nd and 10, he comes out under center. It's another handoff to the running back, and he'll get met and brought down for just a 4-yard gain. A 3rd and 6 and a chance to get the ball back to our offense. He's back in shotgun. Bell will take the snap. He fires over the middle and misses his receiver. He is 0 of 2 so far, and they will punt it back to Oklahoma City. Following the punt, we take over at our own 24-yard line. McLaughlin is going to stay as the quarterback here. He takes the snap. It's a handoff up the middle, and Puka Williams will get brought down for a 2-yard gain. Under 3 minutes to go, we come out in an I formation. Samaje Perine seems to be the running back. We'll give it to Perine to the outside. He gets some good blocking, and Samaje Perine for the first down to the 38-yard line. Now 2:15 to go. We are still in a tie game. McLaughlin lines up under center. He'll finally look to pass on this play. He throws to the outside. That'll be caught by Jerry Brooks. I couldn't remember his name, but a 7-yard gain should take us to the 2-minute warning. I'll be honest, I don't know why I find the 3rd string quarterback battle so interesting every single season, but I do. Now on 2nd and 3, he'll take the snap, a quick throw will get deflected down at the line. Now a 3rd and 3 with 1:58 to go. Both teams do have all 3 timeouts. McLaughlin lines up under center. Puka Williams is the running back, but he will drop back to pass. A quick throw to the outside will be caught by Tylan Wallace for the first down to the 48. And I guess he got out of bounds, so it stops the clock at 1:54. He'll take the snap. McLaughlin looking to go downfield again. He'll throw over the middle. Once again, that's Tylan Wallace, this time for an 8-yard play. 1.5 minutes to play now. He lines up under center. Puka Williams is the running back. It will be a handoff to Puka, and he goes up the middle, gets the first down, and is brought down to the 33. We are definitely in field goal range here. Jacksonville does burn their first time out. Now the Jaguars 33. It's another handoff to Puka Williams, and that'll result in a gain of 1. Now on 2nd and 9. He lines up under center. Puka Williams is the running back from the 32. It's a handoff to Puka, and he goes up the middle and gets brought down to bring up a 3rd and 2 now. He comes out under center from the Jaguars' 26-yard line. Samaje Perine seems to be checked in at running back. He will send the fullback in motion. Takes a snap, hands off to Perine, who follows Spurlock to the outside, and Samaje Perine down the sideline, out of bounds at the 11. Jacksonville is all out of timeouts with 35 seconds to go here. McLaughlin back in shotgun. Puka Williams is checked back into the game at running back. From the 9-yard line, we give it to Puka, who goes to the outside and gets brought down to the 5 with 25 seconds to go. We burn our first time out with 11 seconds remaining in the game and send out Harrison Butker for a 21-yard attempt. The kick is away, and it is good. Barring something catastrophic, there is 8 seconds to go before we finish 2-1 in the preseason. They will field this from the goal line. He brings it up and will get brought out of the 21. They have 5 seconds remaining. This quarterback, I don't believe, has completed a pass yet. So if he's going to complete one, it's going to be right now. 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Bell will drop back to pass. He's standing in the pocket. He steps up. He throws on the run deep downfield, and that one will be incomplete, and he will finish 0 of 3, and we will finish 2-1 on the preseason. I'll be honest, looking right now, I don't know what I'm going to do about the 3rd-string quarterback situation. McLaughlin did lead that drive, but the problem is it felt like that drive was a lot of running. Once again, I did not sub out any starters on defense. I let the computer do all that because I wanted to see how they did against a starting quarterback. Trevor Lawrence, 20 of 27, 224, no touchdowns, and no interceptions. Dalton Swirsky went 9 of 17 for 92 yards. Geno Smith snuck into the game, went 4 of 6 for 54. Mitch McLaughlin, 5 for 8, 39 yards. And then Robert Bell went 0 of 3. Running the ball, Puka Williams did get 50 yards on 15 carries. Trevor Lawrence ran to the end zone. Alexander Spurlock got a touchdown. I do really like to see that. And Samaje Perine got 30 yards on 4 carries. He's most likely not going to make the team because of his rating, but he still played really well today. Then receiving, their tight end was the leading receiver, 8 for 79. Jerry Brooks was our leading receiver, 7 for 69. Now we get to go into the final part of the preseason. We have to make 22 roster moves to get our roster down to the final 53. The first position we're going to have some changes at is wide receiver. The first one being Marion Browning. He is not going to make the team. There are a couple more guys here that are also not going to make the team, like wide receiver Drew Blackman is going to get cut, and then wide receiver Leo Chamberlain. He was an undrafted free agent, but I don't think we really have the room to keep him on the roster, so we're going to go ahead and cut him and free up about $2.5 million in cap space. We still have 10 wide receivers right now on our active roster, which is obviously a little bit too much. We are going to move wide receiver Franklin Archibald over to the practice squad. He was a 4th round pick this year. Obviously not very highly rated. If he gets stolen off our practice squad, I'm not going to be too upset. I really don't think this team is going to have the roster space to keep both Tylan Wallace and DJ Chark. Chark is a little bit older but has more speed, more acceleration. The same catching is 4 points higher, and I already looked at the route running. Tylan Wallace is a bit worse at that as well, so I think instead of cutting him, we're going to see if we can actually trade Tylan Wallace. And the reason I'm going to look to trade him rather than just cut him is because at a 73 overall, he actually has a trade target young player tag. So we're going to see if anyone actually wants him. If not, I'll get like a 6th round pick for him or something. Well, getting to the trade screen and clicking get offers, there are no trades for this package. I'm not really shocked about that too much. Let me go through the rosters and see who really needs a receiver, and if they can give me a 5th, a 6th, or even a 7th round pick. Anything would be better than just cutting him for nothing. The wide receiver situation in Cleveland looks to be pretty awful, but they have no cap space, therefore I can't make that trade. I actually tried to trade him there, and then, realized they had no cap. But the wide receiver situation in New England also does not look that good. Here, he would be the wide receiver 3, so let me go see if they will give me anything for that. How about a 5th round pick for wide receiver Tylan Wallace to go to New England, and it is done. I am going to move wide receiver Luke Bush over to our practice squad. I know he has the star dev trait, but at a 66 overall, probably not going to see the field that much. I'm hoping he doesn't get taken off, but another player that if he does get stolen, I wouldn't be heartbroken. The next player going over to the practice squad will be tight end George Clark. Yes, I know he has the superstar dev trait, but at a 57 overall, I don't think he'll get taken off, and we really don't have the roster space to keep someone that low on the 53. As an Oklahoma Sooners fan, it really hurts me to cut Samaje Perine, but looking at these other running backs on the team, he just really doesn't have a spot here anymore. We used him as a power back last year. Kendre Miller is still a pretty solid power back. We also have a fullback on the roster now. I will do everything in my power to actually keep Spurlock on the team, so we are going to be cutting Samaje Perine. I believe I've made my decision at quarterback 3. Dalton Swirsky wins the job, and Mitch McLaughlin will head down to the practice squad for now. Another undrafted free agent that had at least a star depth trait was Jamie McCullough, but at a 56 overall, I really don't think I can keep him on the 53, so he's also going to go to the practice squad. Now, if you remember at the beginning of the video, I said I signed a couple defensive tackles. One of them was Javon Hargrave. Well, he is no longer here because he is actually injured, so we cannot cut him, but we are going to go ahead and keep Kevin Givens as well. We are going to cut defensive tackle Del Howard, though. The next player to get cut is going to be middle linebacker Nick Williams. I really like our depth here at linebacker. A couple of these guys like Bumper Poole can even play outside linebacker if we absolutely need him to, but Nick Williams will not be on the final 53-man roster. Over at corner, we really don't have much of a decision to make. Sean Bennett will be getting released, and then defensive back Lindsey Dawkins will also be getting released. I really don't like that all of these undrafted free agents that I found are going to the practice squad, but I really cannot justify keeping him on the roster, especially with that 57 tackle, so Evan Coleman will also be heading down to the practice squad. Even after all the roster moves I made so far, we still have another 7 players left to get rid of, and it's going to be left guard Isaac Seumalo. I know it doesn't make much sense, but I think Jared Hoover still has a bit of room for improvement at only 24 years old. Seumalo is 32, so if we need to sign some depth later, we can, but for right now, he's going to go ahead and get cut. And then there was the 3 centers that we drafted in this draft. I intended to move Roberts over to guard, but he wasn't really that good. For right now, Ben Roberts is going to be headed to the practice squad. The next move is going to be defensive tackle Mateo Filas headed down to the practice squad. We currently have 4 guys at left outside linebacker. Malachi Bullocks was a guy I drafted last year. He was a hidden depth trait then, obviously is not one now. We are going to go ahead and cut him here. And now there is outside linebacker Barry McMahon. He's a 63 overall. We took him with the 31st pick in the 7th round. He was nearly the last pick in the draft. He is going to be headed to the practice squad as well. We still have 2 more roster moves to make, and the next one's going to be Jermaine Johnson, a corner with a 62-man coverage. You are not making the team here. Well, now it's time that we circle back to Bumper Pool. This is the last roster move I have to make. He has been on the team the entire series. He was one of the first players I signed. He was pretty solid for us at times, but I think it's time to move on from him. And he also has the trade target young player tag. So let's see if anyone absolutely needs Bumper Pool. Once again, over at the Get Offers page, there are no trades for this package. It looks like the Indianapolis Colts have the worst middle linebacker situation in the league, so let's see if we can make a trade with them. I was hoping to get a 4th or a 5th round pick, but the Colts actually had none of those. They would not take a 3rd round pick, obviously, for a 71 overall, so we end up with a 6th and a 7th round pick. But that will officially wrap up the preseason for Season 4 of the Oklahoma City Bisons Relocation franchise. In the next episode, we will jump into Week 1 against the Los Angeles Chargers.